Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Train of Thoughts. My name is Trey. This is where I share my thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets. So the Jets fell again for the third straight night. This time to the New York Islanders. The final score was 3-2-1. Game started out promising. Jets scored first on a power play. So I think some of the biggest bummers about this losing streak is that they've scored first in all three of these losses, and all three of these games have been at home. So, Nick Ehlers had a great shot on the power play. 1-0. It was 1-0 after the first period, and kind of started holding my breath, knowing that the second period has been a bugaboo. And the second period started. Everything was looking fine. I'm just thinking, man, if the Jets can just win this period, if they can be like 2-0, that would be a huge step. And Dmitry Kulikov commits a penalty. Islanders go on the power play. Right away, they score. Matt Barzal, 1-1. And I gotta admit, I looked at my wife and I said, I feel like this is kind of a here we go again moment. And stayed 1-1 for a long time, and then there was kind of a not well played dump in by the Jets. Matt Barzal grabs it, fires a slapper, 2-1. And that was the killer right there. Went into the break 2-1. The Jets had a lot of glorious scoring opportunities in the third period. Couldn't get it done. So turning point in the game, obviously, in my mind, was the Kulikov penalty, because that was the only penalty that the Jets could committed. The Jets broadcast was talking about how the Jets have done a great job at being one of the least penalized teams in the NHL. But when they do commit a penalty, their penalty killing has not been great. I think that they've given up on the last three power plays that they've, or shorthanded opportunities that they've given. The other team has scored all three times. So that was a little bit of a bummer. It was of no fault to Connor Hellebuck. He had a .920 save percentage. He stopped, I think, it was 23 out of 25 shots. So putting up a game like that, nothing to fault. The goals were not his fault. The last goal of the game was an empty netter with a few seconds left. So that wasn't his fault either, because he wasn't there. So just back to that second period, and I really want this to be a positive thing. I looked it up and did some calculations. The Jets are now -6 in the second period, which I was honestly surprised that it wasn't worse than that. But they had a few games where the game where they won in Pittsburgh, the Wild game where they took control of the second period, and that helped their stats look a little bit better. But the last three games, they're I think that they're -6, and then those -6 or -7 in those three games. So that just kind of tells you right there some of the struggles that they've had in that period. So the defense didn't look too bad. There's a lot of good plays. You can't really. I saw some fan reaction on Instagram, and it wasn't super pretty, but I don't think it's the coach's fault. I don't think that the D played bad. I think the biggest thing is, I know penalties and mistakes are gonna happen, but that was the killer in my mind. What was that penalty? That was the turning point. And also the Jets were putting a lot of pressure on Varlamov, the goalie of the Islanders, and they couldn't break through. Besides that one goal, he was the star of the game. I believe he stopped 32 out of 33, if I saw that right. So he was the number one star. He looked fantastic. A lot of pressure, especially in the third period. The Jets came heavy. The first period they came heavy too. They only got the one goal, so he kept him in the game when it was 1-0 Jets. Nick Ehlers, who scored the goal, another good game. He led the team in shots on goal. Kyle Connor saw doing a lot of nice things. He made a play in the second period to keep possession of the puck where he dove and kind of stuck his stick out to kind of poke it away from Islanders defender and just kind of keep it in the Islanders zone. So that was great. Ross the Vic had some glorious opportunities that he couldn't connect on, but he was getting them, so that was noticeable. Already talked about Connor Hellebuck, how he looked tonight. Matt Barzal, he was if he had to have been the second star of the game. I'm thinking I haven't seen who the 3 stars were. Sorry, at this point. But he had to have been up there, so he looked good, getting those 2 goals and played a solid game. So that's a lot of what I have on the game. It is a little bit of a bummer to see this 3-game losing streak. Trying not to freak out too much. We're only 9 games in this season. Very young defensive corp. They're learning. The effort is there. I'll be curious because I'm shooting this video not long after the game. As far as, or I haven't seen a lot of the post-game coverage. Just kind of hearing what Coach Maurice had to say about the game. So that's what I have for that. One other thing that I want to say is I tried to upload a video last night / this morning from a game that I watched between Edmonton and Philadelphia. Got that video uploaded, and about 3 minutes into my 9-minute video, I scratched my nose a couple times. And the thumbnail that popped up on that video looked like I was picking my nose, which is kind of embarrassing. I didn't want that out there. I'm learning how to edit all these things, so I ended up taking that down. So if anybody saw that, I'm sorry. I wasn't picking my nose. I had a little itch near there. So just kind of a funny thing wanted to throw out there. And if you saw that video and are wondering where it went, that's what happened to it. So I'm hoping to do a bunch more games this weekend when I'm off. So looking forward to that. Also, as I've been talking about in the last few videos, trying to get to 100 subscribers, doing my drive for 100. So would love your support in that. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the game, where you feel like the panic level is, or if you're panicking at all. I don't know if it quite warrants that yet. 3-game losing streaks are hard, but let's see how they do after having a few days off and then playing a tough team in Edmonton. But I think it's going to be good for them to have a few days off. So please fill up that comment section. If you like this video, please hit like. If you really liked it, please help me out and getting that drive for 100 and hit that subscribe button. So until then, have a great night, and we will talk to you later.